Hi, I'm Bill Snyder, Sports Information Director at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, and welcome to another edition of Bulldog Blitz on location here at Hinds, here with Gulf Coast head coach Steve Campbell. The Bulldogs, a huge 41-34 win over the Hinds Eagles, now won 9 straight over Hinds. The number 8 team in the country, the Bulldogs still number 1, now 3-0 and 1-0 in the division. And we start off the South Division schedule, Coach, with a bang. Another hard-fought game against the Eagles. Congrats.
Well, thank you, Bill. It was a great game tonight. You know, it took everything we had, offense, defense, and special teams. They all contributed majorly, and it took everything we had to beat this football team. Hinds is an outstanding football team, very well coached with a lot of talent, great ground game. I mean, they can run the football, and that quarterback's a special player. They had 3 D1 guys on their offensive line. I'm talking about SEC caliber. I guess 2 of them are SEC and one's ACC. So they had 3 BCS guys on their O-line. Quarterback's a North Carolina signee, linebacker Miami signee, one of the receivers in Miami. So they were loaded with talent. We came in today, and our guys played extremely hard. Gave great effort, pulled together, and found a way to get a W.
41-34 is the final. Coming up after this break, we'll check out all the action, and there was a lot of it between Gulf Coast and Hinds. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX.
They double nose up to the mic. Where are the stacks? I know, but where are they? Are they stacked? They're in the box. So y'all got to blow it up, man. That's just being too soft.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm going into nursing field. And I came to JD because it's very close to my house. And I figured that if I just want to do my basics, I can just go to university later.
Well, first at college, I picked the college that's really close to home. My dad worked at Chevron, and he always told me about it. Got me really interested.
And it's close enough to home to where I still get a really great college experience, but I still feel like this is my home, like this is a place that I can be comfortable.
And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. Well, it was an MACJC South Division opening showdown. Gulf Coast and Hinds, 2 top 10 teams. Hinds took the kickoff, went down, got a field goal from 34 yards out to start the scoring at 3-0. The Gulf Coast got the ball, responded with a score of their own, a 13-yard run by T.R. Page to make it 7-3, 8:18 to go in the first quarter. And, Coach, right off the bat, I know you always like the offense to answer if another team scores, no matter what the situation or time is in a game, and that seemed pretty huge to kind of answer there right off the bat. Hostile territory, you know, on the road, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Anytime you know, this first time this year we've been behind in a football game. Am I correct there? I mean, you know,
yep,
Coholm
right.
and Holmes, we hadn't been behind, so we, you know, Hinds was able to take it down, kick field goal, go up 3-0. So it was big for our football team to be able to go down and respond and make it 7-3. That was a big first drive for us, and that's 3 games in a row that we've taken the first drive and gotten points. We always talk about, you know, finish is our deal, but it's starting, finishing, and then finishing the half. And finish the half, finish the end of the game. And those were the keys tonight.
And that was the beginning of a momentum swing, 14 unanswered points by the Bulldogs. A little bit later in the first quarter, Antoine Wells, the first of his 3 touchdowns. He leapt up and over from a yard out, making it 14-3 after the first quarter. Then it was Hinds' turn for the momentum swing. Their terrific quarterback, James Sumner, scored from 5 yards out. And then they hit on a big play, Sumner's to Redding, 83 yards, and then it was 17-14. So Hinds had the advantage, but the Bulldogs answered that with a field goal just before halftime. Tristan Reynolds from 39 yards out, making it 17 all at halftime. So in between there, we put up 14 unanswered. They put up 14 unanswered. Then we come back and get that big field goal at halftime, and that was huge to go in deadlock, you know, on the road. coming back. I mean, so many momentum swings here and so many big plays, and, you know, that's what you expect from two top 10 teams.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you know, we've always been a team of runs, and we were able to get on a couple of runs there, got 14 points, and then they got on their run. Then we were able to field goal right before the half was huge to tie it up going in at the half. So that was big for us. You know, I was pleased with the way TR played. I thought he orchestrated he was an excellent game manager and made plays with his feet and arms. So he did a great job.
He's really poised back there too. Doesn't look like he ever panics. You know, there was. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Just some big plays under pressure, you know, on the road, and he really seems like he's maturing with each snap.
Yeah, he is. You know, he was. This should pay big dividends for him, being on the road, playing whatever Hinds ranked number 8 in the nation at their place, and you're in a 4-quarter football game, a game where you find yourself down at the end of the first possession, down right before half, and he's back there. He showed a lot of poise.
Yeah, speaking of that, opening the third quarter, we get the kickoff, a great return by Tony Bridges, setting up an 11-yard touchdown run by T.R. Page, making it 24-17. Then a little bit later, another big drive, capped off by Tweezy, Antoine Wells, taking it 35 yards to the house, and it's 31-17, going on a little run again. It seemed like that Bridges kickoff return really jump-started the guys out of the gate in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was a great way to start the half, and you know, that was a big play for us and gave us great field position, and we were able to take that in and get points, so that was really big for us. Anytime, you know, that's special teams, you know, and I think we pinned them deep. Tristan hit the 2 big field goals, so it took a little bit of offense, a little bit of defense with the interceptions and the special teams to, you know, whenever you play a great football team, it takes all 3.
It was really a total team effort tonight, as Coach talked about. Still in the third quarter, Hinds, they got on a little momentum. They scored from 3 yards out, making the game 31-24. Then beginning of the fourth quarter, Reynolds with another field goal ups the lead to 10. Then Hinds scored with a field goal of their own to make it 34-27. So midway through the fourth quarter, it's a touchdown game. Needed a big drive, and the Bulldogs got it. Page made a great scrambling run to set up Wells with another touchdown, making it 41-27, a 2-touchdown lead with 4:32 to go. Feeling pretty good, but at that point it still wasn't over. But a great job by the guys to, you know, at least put it in a tough position for Hinds.
Yeah, you know, I didn't feel good until until I looked over and saw 10 seconds, and I saw them walking out on the field, and I said, well, they're not going to use that last time out. And then I started feeling better. No, we were up by 14 with 4 minutes to go, but, you know, the last 2 years against Hinds, we've jumped out tremendously, and then they fought their way all the way back and made a great football game out of it. So now when we're 14 with 4 minutes to go, no, I didn't. I felt better that's better than being down by 14 with 4 minutes to go. But do you feel good? No, you don't feel good till that game's over.
Yeah, we talked about that on the broadcast. You know, 4:32, people were leaving. I was like, y'all don't need to start your cars just yet, especially the way we've gone with those guys in the last couple of years and all the talent.
Football team, that great talent, well coached. They're not going to quit. They're going to fight all the way through. And this is the MGCCC. I mean, you don't ever know. You got to finish.
Yeah. And they hit another big play in the end zone. Redding with his second touchdown, as we talked about, almost on cue with 1:56 to go. It's a 7-point game, and it's game on. They try the onside kick. We come up with a big recovery there and are able to ice the game with a couple of nice runs. You know, so many guys made big plays in this game. You know, we talked about T.R. Page. DeQuill, he was gimpy tonight, made some big catches. Rod Williams, some big runs on offense. Big Trey Wofford, fumble recovery, setting up a score on defense. Some big plays by Cavellis Luckett. I mean, It was a team effort. So many big plays. Also on special teams, talked about Tristan Reynolds, 3 field goals. Just everybody. Kevin Phillips under pressure, pops off a 50-yard punt to pin them back. You know, all of it adds up to a 41-34 win. That's got to make you feel good. Scary, but feeling good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I couldn't be more proud of the way that the guys responded. You know, they came out, had a good week of practice, and then came out and laid it all on the line. Played extremely hard, but that's the kind of effort that it takes. Now, you got to do that week after week after week. You know, we've got last year we played a great Hinds team, and then turned around and got beat by a good Jones team, but they were a 6-3, a very good Jones team. But, you know, that was our one regular season loss last year. Take nothing away. We've got to focus and play the best. This league, there's a lot of great players, a lot of great talent on all the teams, and there's a lot of great, you know, the teams that do a great job coaching their players, getting them ready, everything like that. So you got to play your best every week to have a chance to win.
Yeah, and it seemed like, too, it wasn't like there were just total, like, you know, those two big plays. They weren't blown coverages. Redding and Summers were making big plays. They made, yeah.
Well, the one play that the 87-yarder, I didn't know it was that far. We had a guy there. Looked to me like there was a little bumping or whatever.
Might have been a little bit.
You know, I mean, it did, and he caught it, and we had a guy behind him. But that was their guy made a play. You know, our guys came back. Doc Hill made the one.
Huge.
You know, and then we get a holding call. We had some.
That's right.
We had a holding call on that touchdown that cost us 4 points.
Right.
We returned the kickoff 90 yards down to and we get a holding call.
Yeah.
We had some deals that did not. You know, we got some things we need to correct. We got some things we need to correct. I'll say it like that. We got some things that we need to improve at to be able to continue to be successful. You take away any of those plays could have changed the outcome of the game.
But the good news is that's something you can correct, and back to those teachable moments.
Oh, yeah. That's very like I say, great win, all that. But we need to learn from this because, you know, there's some very teachable moments, some things that we need to get corrected if we want to continue on the same path, and we do.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I had some too in the booth tonight. You see, I got the Sharpie mark to prove it. So, but all in all, it worked out for a 41-34 win over Hinds. Now, coming up after the break, we'll have a player profile for you. We'll talk about special teams on that player profile. Heading in, a look at the scores from around the MACJC. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX.
Programs here, they don't just give you the basic knowledge of the program, they teach you how to work with a client and go out in the real world.
All of my instructors have been a great help for me.
One-on-one experience that you need, and just always there to help you out when you need it.
You get that one-on-one interaction with your teacher. The teachers are very welcoming.
I really like the idea of being able to go to a smaller student-to-teacher ratio.
They teach you how to be confident, and that's a very useful skill that you can apply to anything.
And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. Time now for our player profile segment. This week we'll go to special teams and feature our long snapper, sophomore Wyatt Smith.
You know, there's a lot more that goes into it than people think. People think you just throw a ball between your legs and the punter can just drop it and kick it. But, you know, there's a real science to both kicking, punting, and snapping. You know, it doesn't just happen, and we have to work remarkably hard at it. It's just we don't have to learn as much, but we have to fine-tune and have every part of our game perfect, whereas, you know, your normal athlete has a lot of if he's weak in one area, he can make up ground in another area. So we don't necessarily get that.
Now, they always say not really punters, but kickers are real quirky. Are long snappers quirky?
You could say that. You know, we kind of get that specialist group. You know, we're just kind of the outcast of the team, but we have fun with it. You know, it's all good. After last season, it kind of changed from high school. You know, I just kind of got used to getting run over by those guys. It's something you can't really avoid. You know, on punt, we block, and I do a pretty good job with that. But field goal, you don't really get a choice. You just kind of get run over. So it's something you just have to live with, you know, don't really get a choice. It was the Chris Rubio Top 12 camp, which is, he's through Nike. He's a well-renowned guy in the world of special teams and long snapping and stuff like that, and it was the top 29 guys in the nation. And I was lucky enough to be a part of that group and come out. Came in third out there, so it's going good. We preach every day the process of winning, the process of getting back to where we need to be. So I think we're doing that right now. We're working extremely hard, and if we keep working the way we are and keep doing the things we need to do, we'll be right back where we need to be.
Coach, a big part of the win tonight, special teams. You got Tristan Reynolds, Kevin Phillips, and long snapper Wyatt Smith did a great job tonight. The kicking combo, that trio, pretty close to being perfect, and it starts with the snap, and Wyatt is money in the bank as far as that goes.
He is. Tucker is a great young man. First and foremost, Tucker's just a solid citizen, a great worker. Tucker works at his craft. And I'm being serious now, at his snapping. He takes that very, very seriously. He's a best deep snapper I've ever been around. I'm talking about at Auburn, at Mississippi State, at a lot of places. He is a big-time deep snapper. He's as good as, whoever snaps for the Saints or the New England Patriots doesn't snap it, doesn't throw a fastball better than Tucker. Now, he needs to keep working, keep improving, but I don't want to jinx him. But he works very hard at his craft and takes it very seriously. And he's got some Division I scholarship offers because of that fact. And great young man. He kind of leads that group. We've got two young freshmen who are very serious about their craft, and he's Tucker's a great one to kind of lead and be the central point of that group. Kevin came in, punted tremendous, and does a great job with the holding. People overlook that.
Got him a touchdown pass.
Got him a touchdown pass. Ask Tony Romo how important that is. And then Tristan, those two kicks today were big time. I mean, those were
needed them.
We needed every bit of it. You take them two off, we win by a point. And then he made all those extra points. So if you take away, and then we had some later in the game, some great kickoffs. We were able to pin them deep and get great field position, which caused them to have to burn more clock. So I was very pleased with the kicking. There's some things we need to continue to work on, but great young men there.
Definitely. Wyatt Smith, one of our terrific sophomores, the long snapper on the Bulldogs. Now, coming up after the break, it's called Chalk Wars, and you don't want to miss this. Coach Davis and Coach Campbell going mano-a-mano on the grease board. Stay tuned for that. Heading into the break, the MACJC Top 10 poll this week. Of course, the Bulldogs remain at number 1. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX.
I've had a great experience here at Gulf Coast, and I'm really glad I made the decision to come here.
Basically, a lot of family members came here, telling me good things about it.
I love it. The clinical experience, everything about it. I loved it. The teachers are great.
I also take a weekend class. You only meet 4 times a week, which is so much better for my schedule.
The classes are smaller, which means the teachers, can help you more easily.
I've gained the confidence that I am ready to go off and do great things.
And you saw the update on our Gulf Coast soccer teams after the first couple of weeks of play. here in the 2013 season. Now, earlier this summer, I got to ride with Coach Campbell and defensive coordinator Steve Davis up to Jackson. They gave a presentation at the Mississippi Association of Coaches Convention, and they went at it head-to-head via the chalkboard. We call it Chalk Wars. Check this out.
Our number one play that we're going to start with is the power. Block down, kick out, power. Most basic play in football. I watched the Super Bowl this past year. They had 2 weeks to prepare for it. Biggest game that there is. And first play of the game was a block down, kick out, power. Most basic play in football, and that's where we scored 50 or more points 3 times this past year, scored over 60 twice. And our number one play is block down, kick out of what used to be a traditional line formation. All right. We're going to gap block. This guy's rule is gap down, second linebacker. There's nobody in the gap, so he's going for the second linebacker. Gap down, next linebacker. They're going to double here to the backside. Slam, don't let anybody run through the B gap. I'm blocking all the way back to the B gap. Nothing in the B gap. I'm next backer. Slam to make sure nothing runs through, and then hinge the end. This guy's rule is first linebacker. So he's going to pull and kick the first linebacker in the hole. All right? The super back, he's going to kick the defensive end. In man on the line of scrimmage, he's going to kick him out. We want to separate the defense. We want a great block down here, a great kick out here so that the defense is separated. The back, we can line him up here, we can line him up here, we can line him up here. Just basic play. We're going to line him up in the A gap because that's where he's headed. He's going to take one little drop step, and then he's going to hit the A gap right there. We will dig here, and dig here. That is our basic fundamental play that we put in the first day of 2-a-days. That play is in, and we're going to run it all year.
You must eliminate gaps from inside out. So we cannot let any inside gaps. So we tell our nose guard to line up in the shade and demand a double team. He needs to wreak havoc on that center and that offensive guard and do not get washed. So we are anchoring that A gap with our nose guard. All right, our defensive end plays a 5 technique and we play a tight 5. If I'm going to stop the run and eliminate gaps from inside out, my C gap starts on the hip of that offensive tackle. If that offensive tackle blocks down, I am squeezing him, which eliminates that linebacker's B gap. So he's just helped his linebacker by eliminating the B gap that he's responsible for. He is going to squeeze that. Coach has got him being kicked out by that super back tight end, and that cannot happen. He's got to be in that gap and eliminate that gap. When that linebacker sees his gap eliminated in front of him with flow coming to him, he's scraping tight right over there, and he is the new C gap player. Coach Campbell is trying to hit this in the A gap, and this big dog right here, and that squeezing of that offensive lineman, which also frees the mic, eliminates that A gap, and we're trying to bounce that play outside to we hope, an unblocked linebacker and a apex dog outside.
We got to be able to kick out that defensive end, or this play is not going to be. It's not going to be what we want. If he teaches this guy to spill it, and we keep getting on that guy, we tell him you cannot allow him to spill you. When we call this play, you got to kick him out. But with him being right here and him right here, that guy can't squeeze and wrong shoulder and spill it. All right, if they're a spill team, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to say, all right, well, we ain't going to make a living running the power all day long, but we've done work power scheme. That's what we do in individual all day. We want to keep running the same scheme, but what play can we do to attack whatever it is that they're doing? So we'll run basically the offensive line won't know the difference. All right, we'll call the same play. All right, we'll put the back here. Snap it to him. We're going to run speed sweep with the exact same blocking. All right, now the super back is going to work up and seal the linebacker. All right, quarterback's going to read the defensive end. If he squeezes, we've got the exact same play called up front. If this guy, if he squeezes, he's going to run the sweep outside, and we've got an outside stalk and an outside stalk. We've got him sealing the linebacker. If this guy gets upfield, because he sees a sweep coming, he's going to pull it and hit the power again.
Normally when I start one of my speeches, guys, it's not about X's and O's, it's about Jimmy's and Joe's. And here is that offensive line. If that end's going to squeeze, he's got to straighten. Now he's got to physically whip that fullback. He cannot get pinned by that super back tight end. He's got to work outside of him. So the end has eliminated this C gap, eliminated the B gap with his body. He's got to scrape the C gap. And as they come, this outside safety cannot get pinned by him. He has that additional next gap. So we should have a defender in every gap as the ball comes.
And Coach, that's fun to watch when it's an action-reaction type of thing, and that's got to help you guys coaching with the kids too, being in sync as far as offense and defense. But then you get to coach each other a little bit, and you know, that kind of helps, I'm sure, later on when you're coaching against the other team. Really interesting to watch.
Yeah, it is. You know, Steve's a veteran coach. Has been a lot of places, a lot, you know, LSU, Auburn, Southern Miss, Troy, Middle Tennessee. He's a wealth of experience. Does a great job on defense. And anytime that we like to get together and sharpen our horns on the board, it's great to see what the other side is doing and how they line up and want to stop what you're doing. And then football's a constant evolution. I watched Notre Dame and Alabama, the '73 Air Parseghian and Bear Bryant game. And just to see how far football has come. A lot of the things that were running back then are coming back now. So it's always good to go with the defense and draw up and how you're going to stop this. And honor to speak at the MAC, the Mississippi Association of Coaches convention there in Jackson. We've done that a couple of times, and it's always an honor to be able to speak in front of your peers, all the great high school coaches in this state. We've got some outstanding. I've been in Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana. Our high school coaches here in the Coaches Association do a tremendous job of educating our coaches and continuing with the continuing ed, and really well coached. That's why our Mississippi Junior College is such, there are a lot of things that Mississippi is maybe not ranked in the top 25 in. But the junior college system, athletics and education, I'm not just talking about football, but our junior college system is tops in the nation out of all 50 states.
And the cool thing is we'll have some more chalk wars coming up later on in the season. That was our first taste of it right there. So now we'll switch gears, take a little deep breath, get ready to ride home, and get ready for a tough Jones team. We already know what they can do. Last year going to Ellisville, and they tripped us up. They're ranked at number 19, so we'll see. They play this weekend against Pearl River, and we know they're going to come in ready to play. We saw that last year. Head coach Ray Perkins, always talented team. Just another tough battle here in the South Division.
Yes, it'd be a great challenge. Jones always, has a ton of athletes, and then you throw in, Ray Perkins, our coach Bob, a legend. So they do a tremendous job. They do a great job on offense, great job on defense and special team. Very, very sound football team with a lot of great athletes.
Yeah, and that'll be coming up next Thursday at 7 o'clock. You can watch at MGCCCBulldogs.com or check it out on 103.1 Super Talk FM, WOSM. It'll be at A.L. May Memorial Stadium on the Perk campus. Another rockin' and rollin' time in the MACJC South Division. The Bulldogs going after their second MACJC South Division win. But for now, we'll celebrate a big win here at Hinds, 41-34 over the Eagles. That's 9 straight over Hinds, a terrific accomplishment against a terrific football program. Well, that's going to do it for our on-location version of Bulldog Blitz. For head coach Steve Campbell, I'm Bill Snyder. Thanks for watching, as always, here on Bulldog Blitz. Have a great night and a great weekend.